Hello and welcome, and in this video I'd like to show you how to commence your first affirmation practice. So come down to the Windows Start button, up to All Programs, locate the Sculptor 3 entry and come across to the Sculptor icon and select it. We're presented with the splash screen briefly and then the welcome screen. We can close the welcome screen. And what we want to do now is come up to the Affirmations tab on the toolbar, select that and come down and select Day 1. You'll hear a beep and then you'll be presented with the story window. Now if we move the story window just over here a little bit and resize it. Now what we're doing here is we're presenting the intellectual mind with an understanding of this imagery. Now, the best way to think of this is to remember the stories about the early storytellers, and you'd have the chief elder, and he would explain the meaning of some spiritual concept, and he would explain it in words, but then they would have these cave paintings that would depict that understanding. And in a like manner, that's what we're doing here. We've got the backdrop images, and here we have an intellectual understanding. So at your leisure, just read the story and get an understanding of what we're conveying graphically as the backdrop. And once you've done that, you can close this window. And this story window is presented when we first come into each day. And once we fully understand the story, we can actually turn these stories off so they won't be displayed when we begin the practice. So just select OK to close the story window, and we're ready to start our affirmation practice. A couple of points. You can see here we've got our glass of water that we selected in the setup. We have our spiritual imagery on the right hand side, and down the bottom we've got our subliminal messages being displayed. Don't pay any attention to them, and no need to focus on them. After a couple of days you won't even realize they're there. So come up to this prompt here, and we're going to retype our affirmation, which is money comes to me easily and effortlessly. And select the enter key. Then you'll be presented with a statement, and we'll speak this as it's being presented. And it's this or something better now manifests for me in totally satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. Now, don't be concerned if that's being presented a little bit fast. It's really not something that we need to say all the time, but we just need to remind ourselves of it. And the first part of the statement was, this or something better now manifests for me in totally satisfying and harmonious ways. And the reason for that part of the statement is that from our conscious perspective, we don't dream big enough. We've got so many, or we can have so many limitations that our conscious mind says we can and can't have. But from our higher self's perspective, it can dream so much bigger for us and wants us to have so much more. So we have that part of the statement just to enable the spiritual forces to give us something even better than what we're asking for. And the second part of the statement was for the highest good of all concerned. So if we're affirming a promotion at work, we don't want someone in the position that we might be after to actually be retrenched or made redundant. We would like them to go on and get a better job or whatever. But the main thing is we're saying we don't want someone else to be hindered by our growth. So everyone moves forward, and it's all very harmonious and for the highest good of all concerned. At the end of that statement, we're then presented with this prompt here, and the title here is Response. Now, what we want to do with this part of the affirmation practice is just to type in the first thing that comes to our mind. Now, this is just a clearing process. We don't want to concentrate on what the response is. We just want a free flow and type in the first thing. So in response to the affirmation we're using here, money comes to me easily and effortlessly, you might respond with something like, boy, you got to be joking, and you just press enter. Now that message is saved into our response database, and then we come onto another session, and you'll see here that we've completed day 1, affirmation 1, and here we have money comes to me easily and effortlessly again. So we type that, easily and effortlessly, press enter. This or something now manifests me totally satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. And it's asking for a response again. Now, if for any reason you're just completely blank on it, you could say blank and press enter. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. And down the bottom here, it's saying we're on day 1 and we've just completed affirmation 2. So you would continue in this manner until you reach 24 affirmations. And I won't go on and complete all 24 affirmations, so I'll come down here and I'll just say off, which will finish this session for day 1. And this completes our video on the first affirmation practice. Thank you.